Hello friends, my name is Chelsea. You know that, I know that. I'm just a lady with a camera, a bulldog, and too many opinions. And I need to talk about Matt and Abby. Matt and Abby Howard, in my opinion. And what do I know? I mean, honestly, I'm pretty much an expert on this specific aspect of this. I would say that I am qualified to deem them Clout goblins. Yes. So we will be sending them a Clout goblin certificate, an official Clout goblin certificate. If you don't know, I have a podcast with my co-host Sherilyn Dale called Here for the Clout. You should definitely subscribe to it and go watch it. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts and also on YouTube. We quite often do some pretty hilarious and unhinged cosplay, so it's really just better if you watch it instead of just listening. Now, Matt and Abby Howard are content creators. They are married. They are a young married couple, and their content typically does revolve around them being parents to a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, little boys, and in my opinion, them having pretty shitty opinions. You most likely have seen clips of Matt and Abby's podcast because, dear God, does their podcast get clipped constantly. So let's go ahead and a little montage that I have made that I really think you will not enjoy. Before we get too far into this video, let's talk about money. Why do I do this? I have to clean it up every time. So while I clean up this prop money, let's talk about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. With starting new ventures and expanding my business, I have been really trying to be much more aware of my spending habits. And one way that I do that is Rocket Money. So y'all know that one of my favorite things that Rocket Money does is send me emails saying, and I know it's so simple, it's so minuscule, but I love this. They'll send me emails and say, upcoming bills this week, because your girl, it forgets. I do be forgetting. They also send me over emails that sometimes I feel real attacked, and they're like, hey, unusual transaction. No, girl, that was me spending $400 at Michael's. Stop it. I know I told you I'm supposed to be on a budget. So Rocket Money is really there for me to not only cancel unwanted subscriptions, helping me stay on budget, but really helping me get it together and stay on top of my money. I'm using Rocket Money to analyze my spending habits and create custom budgets that work with my lifestyle, especially with the business side of my life. And it automatically monitors my spending by category and gives me notifications when I have exceeded my limit, which sometimes we exceed limits, okay? Rocket Money has helped its customers save over $740 a year when they use all of their features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million users using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/CC Suarez. That link will be in my description box. You can click it there and you can get started for free. Or you can take advantage of more features, which I do have the premium version. You can unlock more features with premium. But that's rocketmoney.com/CC Suarez, CC CC Suarez, to get started for free. Thank you, Rocket Money, for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for supporting my sponsors. I surely do appreciate you. Now back to the video.
Matt and Abby are getting some backlash in a recent podcast episode where she talks about how society hates men and she doesn't want her son growing up in this man-hating culture. And as a girl, I just have to say, girl.
We are literally living in a man-hating culture, and as a mother to a son, that makes my heart really sad. My son, watch me freaking.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You got this. You got this.
Hope that my son could grow up and there could be males and females uplifting him and rooting him on and not hating him for his gender or, thinking a certain way about him because he's a man.
I just kind of shut down and didn't say anything. I was just quiet.
Yeah, that was hard for me.
Because I wasn't going to talk to you about it because I didn't want to bring you down. But then by me not saying anything, I think that brought you down.
Well, you're bringing me down because you weren't talking to me.
It's true.
I just had an emergency C-section 4 weeks ago, and I'm just thinking back to the physical state that I was in just a few weeks ago in the hospital. I could not move around on my own, stand up, sit down, lean over, pick my baby up, go to the bathroom. None of those things I could do on my own. I had to have help from a nurse or from my husband. It was my husband most of the time because obviously the nurse is not in there, 24/7. The idea that this man could see his wife in this state, in a lot of pain, emotional, physical pain, needing his support, and feel completely justified making the entire thing about his career.
Did it feel different down there after birth?
Yeah, actually. I feel like it goes back, but it doesn't go back to exactly how.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day, and I was kind of surprised to hear you say that. So you never told me until I asked you.
I always heard, it goes back to normal, but it doesn't go back to exactly the way it was before.
So, maybe I shouldn't go into too much detail.
We can say whatever.
Like it after?
I still like it, of course.
You like it as much?
I would say so.
It doesn't sound very.
I think I like it pretty good.
moon that
Yeah.
day. I got you a cake from DQ.
I guess we had
And
just
had
gotten
the
home.
family over and grilled.
Well, I grilled, but I know a lot of dads grill on their birthday. But yeah, we had Father's
I
Day.
grilled your child
You did grill my child.
all day, every day.
But like Father's Day and my birthday were the same exact day.
Yeah, and
it kind of was a bummer.
To be honest with you, I failed you. I'm
Hey,
so
but
sorry.
you know what? This year, we're boycotting Father's Day for the month of June and celebrating it 3 months after my birthday.
We've decided.
I was having this like realization moment of, okay, like my life just changed big time. And for a little bit, I was like, wow, like all my career goals have to go to the wayside. And I just kind of felt, I was kind of frustrated a little bit.
I could tell.
And I just kind of shut down and didn't say anything. Like I was just like quiet.
Yeah, that was hard for me.
I was doing like everything for audience. So I'm like, here I am, like I have all these like big goals and big dreams and I have to put them to the wayside. And I'm like, I'm stuck here. And I was kind of mad.
Yeah.
And that just lasted for like a day.
It lasted like 2 days.
You think it lasted 2 days? For sure. Did it last into the second day? Maybe it did last for the second day. But then it went away.
What an asshole.
Yeah. I get so mad about how often women of my age have to talk about what their lives are going to look like after having kids. So it's very hard for me to not get really mad watching this. Because I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean your hopes and dreams? There is so much privilege in being a man that decides once the baby is born, I'm going to decide to realize what this means for my life.
Yeah.
Without actually having any thought before then.
What is on my feed right now is a bunch of women saying, remembering I'm not mad at my boyfriend, I'm mad at Matt from Matt and Abby.
Yeah.
Like my boyfriend is not him. I think it is confronting and triggering. Even if we do have great partners who are nothing like this, we can see so much of a system play out in this one man.
You get it, right? Yeah. Truly, these people just continue to tell on themselves. I really think the reason why they, like, it's not anyone else getting them in controversy. It's not someone else's shitty opinion of them. It's them constantly telling on themselves. And this past week was no exception to that. So Matt and Abby went on a cruise with apparently her extended family, you know, her parents, grandparents, whatever, cousins, and all of that, and brought their kids. So I guess they went on a week-long cruise, and Abby had, which also, a cruise, gross. I hate cruises. They are the worst. And with a child, no thank you. So Abby posted to her Instagram story and shared pictures of like the baby monitors, and then also was saying that they had to FaceTime the baby monitors. So I guess like have both of them up on a desk or table or whatever, and then have one of their phones facing it so that they could FaceTime both of them and see them, and then also have one of the phones like at dinner with them. And it was this post right here, kind of posted as like a travel hack. And it says, so we ended up taking them for 5 nights and it became apparent that they weren't enjoying it, and therefore we weren't either. Which, yeah, if your kids are miserable, you're gonna be miserable. Also, you have a 1 and 2 year old. As someone with a 1-year-old, you're gonna be miserable. I'm not miserable, I'm very happy. But like on vacation, my sister said something when we were on our like annual beach family trip with all of our cousins and stuff, and they have kids our age, and so it like everyone has like a cousin that they like match up with an age. I love it, it's amazing. But my sister was saying something like, oh my god, I need a vacation, and I was like, we're on vacation, and she's like, no, now that you have a kid, you're about to learn going on a vacation with your kids, like that's a family trip. That ain't a vacation. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that does make sense. Sometimes you need a vacation from the vacation. I get you. But of course, you know, family memories, all that jazz, right? You gotta do it. And it's worth it, whatever. And you're blessed if you get to do it, okay? Cool. So she was saying that we switched our dinner time to after their bedtime and FaceTimed the monitors while we ate. Baby monitors won't work on board unless you're only like 10 feet away. When you first read that, or at least when I first read that, I was thinking like, okay, so they left their kids in the room and then went to dinner. What in the Madeline McCain? These people are clearly so young that they have no idea who that is. Like, those people were less than like 150 feet from their daughter, and she got taken and was never seen again. I don't know. I find that so crazy. And also posting like what cruise ship you're on and like while you're there is sketchy as well, because I mean, these people are huge influencers, and I bet there were probably people there who knew of them, whatever. And if someone was in their like adjoining room, because, you know, obviously sometimes you have the connecting rooms, and usually like families will have that, right? Someone could be like right next door, but I feel like they would have said that if that were the case. But don't worry. instead of clarifying anything on her Instagram story, she did take it down after, I think, like a day or two. But then after like 4 days since that initial post, and I get it, you want to be able to come home, you want to be able to get your kids settled, whatever. However, you could have just put something on your, your Instagram feed, not story. It should have gone on your Instagram feed as just like text on screen or whatever. And you could have been like, oh, we're going to be posting a video to, explain further. But they then didn't do that, obviously. But then they came out with this apology video.
Hey everybody, we usually would not be making a video like this, but there is information circulating about us that is completely untrue. So we just wanted to set the record straight, clear the air, because we take our role as parents extremely seriously. And we love our children more than anything in the entire world. And we're very protective of our kids. So we just got back from a 7-night cruise with Abby's extended family. And this was everyone from Abby's grandma, our children's great grandma, to our 1 and 2-year-old. And so where this whole controversy started, I guess, is a few days ago, Abby posted on her Instagram story that we were at dinner FaceTiming the baby monitors while our children were asleep in their staterooms. And people started to speculate and believe that we had left our children alone in their staterooms. And that is just completely untrue because we had someone with our children at all times on this boat, period.
I can see where my story did lead to misunderstanding, which is why I ended up deleting it several hours after posting it, is because I could see that it was causing concern and misunderstanding. And I do want to say thank you so much to those of you that were concerned about the safety and well-being of our children as their parents. That is our first and foremost main concern. But to know that other people share those same concerns for our precious boys, it really means a lot. So thank you. But I do want to clarify that we have not, would not, will not ever leave our children unattended. We would never ever want to put them in harm's way in any way. I do want to clear up the baby monitor situation. Our children sleep in these blackout tents every single night, whether or not we're traveling or if we're just home. And a feature of these tents is they have a spot for a sound machine and a spot for a monitor. And even if we are sleeping in the exact same room as our boys, we always turn their monitor on so we can watch and see what's happening inside the tent, make sure they're okay, see if they've fallen asleep or if they've woken up. We just love to have eyes on them. We're always concerned about them. And so that's why even when we would, tag team and take turns at family dinner, we would turn on FaceTime so we could also have eyes on them as their parents if we weren't the ones, attending them in that moment.
And we're so thankful to them, you guys, because we spent a lot of our time on this boat in our staterooms manning the baby monitors. And if it wasn't for Abby's extended family, we really would have not gotten a chance to really get out of the room. So thank you to them. Thank you to you guys for listening to what we had to say. It really means a lot to us. And we appreciate you listening to the very end.
Thank you.
So I feel like these people have done this before and, gone like next door for pizza and drinks or whatever with their neighbors or something like that. I'm positive that Abby has posted that before, and people obviously were like, hey, maybe don't post that. It's just screaming like, hey, my kid's alone in my house and I'm not there. Like, what are you doing? And having no sense of, and keep in mind, I haven't watched much of their content. I'm just going off of pieces that I've seen here and there. But seeing that, it just seems so dangerous and so spooky. Then again, I'm the type of person that like, I take my gun to the splash pad because I'm like, no, not getting me and my kid. And I'm obviously not like a family vlogger, family type content person. I don't think that there's anything wrong with, sharing your kid here and there, but there obviously is that privacy aspect to it as well. And I think that obviously as a parent, you need to, keep yourself safe and your kids safe too. That's literally your job as a parent, is to just keep them alive. And especially for the first year, you just got to keep them alive. So obviously, sure, if someone was, in the adjoining room or whatever, okay, great. Or if, one of their family members, has a key to their room or like has access to one of the monitors and is just in like the room next door. Okay. And like if all of you booked together, you most likely do have rooms close to each other, then fine. I mean, what's the difference between, that and them being in like their room at home and the babysitter or family member being like on the couch in the living room, right? Same thing. But the way that they worded this and worded the apology and all that, and the way that they just seem like they constantly tell on themselves, and that a lot of times it seems like they are sharing these things and telling on themselves because they don't necessarily see it as a big deal. And that right there, personally, I think is a red flag. I think that's an issue. And do we all have different parenting styles? Of course. And that's fine if you want to parent differently. I just do think that they are fibbing about having, someone watch their kid. And I do think that they didn't have someone, right there, as they said. And just like their demeanor and that apology video was weird. And from, the not great takes that I've seen that they have had before, it's cringe all around. Really, almost all of their content, we can just file under, hey, we don't need to be involved in this. You can absolutely leave the general public out of your life in general. But unfortunately, due to TikTok, a lot of shitty parents and people who absolutely should not have platforms or, be famous in general are in that position. So I really hope that nothing ever happens to their children. Obviously, I'd be a monster if I said otherwise. And I hope that their kids are always safe and that they are not being exploited. And they never find out the hard way that you really do, as a content creator, need to take your safety and your digital footprint and all that seriously, especially when you have kids. And at this point, it's not even, oh, well, your kid didn't consent to like their picture being on the internet. Okay, whatever. But it's more so, hey, you as a parent, you're just offering up this information that can put y'all in danger or put you at risk, all right? So how about you just don't do that? Now, I got cold, I had to put on the jacket. Now, are we ever gonna know the truth? No. Is it any of our business? Well, yeah, they made it our business when they posted it on the internet. That's what your content is. That's what you make money on. You're making it everyone's business, right? As I always say in all of my videos where I'm discussing literally anyone, please don't go seek out these people. Don't touch the poop. Don't engage with them. Don't send hate to them or any public figure, entity, whatever. Obviously, you're entitled to your own opinions, but don't be a dick, right? But I truly do think that these people are clout goblins and that they're just going to keep doing, the rage bait type of content and clips that really do feed the chaos machine that is TikTok and social media in general. And that's why I think that they are clout goblins. So I'll be sending this to them. It says Clout Goblin Certificate of Achievements. This certificate is proudly presented to Matt and Abby Howard. This certificate is proudly presented to Matt and Abby Howard by the Here for the Clout podcast, my podcast, to recognize clout goblin behavior. Your dedication to constantly exposing your own shitty opinions and behavior on social media is unmatched. And then has a little seal, and then mine and Sherilyn's signatures. So they have been deemed clout goblins, and they'll probably be receiving that in the mail in like 2 weeks. If you did like this video, be sure to subscribe. If you are subscribed, at the end of my videos, I give you a little pep talk. I tell you that your butt looks good and that your feelings are valid and that you are valuable. And I'm proud of you. Am I? I don't know. Yeah, sure I am. I'm proud of you. If you are not subscribed, I don't know what your butt looks like. I assume it doesn't look good, and you should work on that and subscribe. All right, stay spicy. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.